It is a travesty of the highest order that media outlets such as Iran National have grossly misused their platform under the guise of promoting democracy. While this UK-based Persian language network shamelessly parades itself as a defender of Iranian human rights, its record exposes a deeply troubling pattern of manipulation and covert ideological alignment. Far from being an independent voice, Iran International has systematically amplified narratives that blatantly echo the Islamic Republic's strategic interests, including the deliberate promotion of anti-Semitic rhetoric and relentlessly biased portrayals of Israel, wrote Iranian Americans for Liberty on X. Several political prisoners in Greater Tehran's prison have launched a drastic protest against the prison's horrific conditions by sewing their lips or eyelids shut. According to shared reports, Kushan Khaled Pirzadeh has sewn his eyelid, while Farhad Hafezi and Vahid Sorkhgol have sewn their lips in solidarity. More prisoners are reportedly planning to join the protest. A leaked voice message from inside the prison alleges that Yousefi, the head of Ward 2, has been behaving insultingly toward inmates, sparking anger among prisoners, especially those in that ward. In the recording, Mr. Pirzadeh outlines the reasons behind the protest, including lack of round-the-clock access to showers, poor quality phone calls with family, connections are often down for half the day with no accountability, filthy broken restrooms with damaged plumbing and sewage issues, water shutoffs at random hours throughout the day. Mr. Pirzadeh stated, "We'll continue this protest until our basic civil rights are recognized and more prisoners will be sewing their lips and eyelids as this continues." Asghar Sepehri, the brother of the political prisoners Fatemeh and Mohammad Hossein Sepehri, both known pro-monarchy activists, has published a statement revealing that their family has been subjected to sexual abuse and humiliation by prison authorities at Vakilabad prison in Mashhad. The statement, released following a wave of repression after the 12-day Iran-Israel war and the death of senior IRGC and intelligence officials, alleges that the regime, unable to respond externally, has turned its rage inward, targeting political prisoners, religious minorities like Baha'is and Jews, and civil society actors. In one of the most disturbing incidents, the daughter of Fatemeh Sepehri, currently held in Ward 5 of Vakilabad prison, was subjected to a degrading and sexually abusive body search during a scheduled cabin visit with her mother. The alleged perpetrator is identified as a female prison officer named Mrs. Rahnama. The assault reportedly caused severe psychological distress to the young woman. According to the statement, this incident had a profound emotional impact on Fatemeh Sepehri and led her brother, Mohammad Hossein Sepehri, also imprisoned at Vakilabad, to formally request a meeting with Vahid Purhijabi, chief of prison security in Khorasan Rezavi province, and a local prison official named Mr. Ali Khani. Both reportedly refused to meet or respond. In retaliation for his protest, Mr. Mohammad Hossein was sent to solitary confinement, had his phone calls suspended for a month, and was denied 2 scheduled in-prison visits. A new court session was held to address a new case against imprisoned students Ali Younesi and Amir Hossein Moradi from Arya Mehr University, known as Sharif University of Technology. According to Younesi's family, he was not allowed to attend the session, and his relatives have had no information about him for 21 days. Ali's sister, Aida Younesi, said her brother hasn't made any contact since a brief phone call with her mother 3 weeks ago. Even his lawyers are unaware of his current location. She added that their mother went to the court hoping to see Mr. Ali, but was left standing behind closed doors. In his last phone call, Mr. Ali had said he was being held in a high-security cell controlled by the Ministry of Intelligence in Greater Tehran's prison, describing the food and sanitary conditions as dire. Iran's Supreme Court had agreed to review their case. A parallel branch reduced their original 10-year prison sentence to 6 years and 8 months. Ali Younesi and Amir Hossein Moradi, both astronomy Olympiad medalists, were violently arrested without a court order. The judiciary accused them of ties to opposition groups, an accusation the Younesi family has called fabricated, blaming it on their parents' history as political prisoners. Farhad Avije, a pro-monarchy activist and former detainee from Iran's nationwide uprising, has been sentenced to 2 years and 1 month of discretionary imprisonment by the Revolutionary Court of Yasuj. The charges against him include insulting the supreme leader and propaganda against the regime. Mr. Avije was previously arrested during the uprising that followed the state killing of Mahsa Amini and was held in Yasuj prison. He was later released temporarily on a bail of 500 million tomans. Armaghan Yazdani, a Baha'i citizen from Shiraz, was arrested by security forces affiliated with the IRGC. Officers raided their home, confiscated personal belongings, and transferred her to a detention center. A source familiar with the case said Yazdani was arrested while out with her mother and sister, running errands for her upcoming wedding. Her car was blocked by plainclothes agents driving an unmarked vehicle, who then forced the family back home. After searching the house and seizing several items, Ms. Yazdani was taken into custody. Her arrest comes shortly after her fiancé, Vahid Masumi, was also detained by security forces. He was later released on bail after interrogation and being formally charged. Residents of Sabzavar took to one of the city's main roads to protest the relentless power and water outages. Frustrated by the repeated blackouts and lack of basic services, they chanted slogans and demanded accountability. This demonstration reflected growing anger over the government's failure to address infrastructure breakdowns during the peak of summer heat. Security forces of the Islamic Republic violently confronted protesters in Sabzavar. The demonstrators, frustrated by relentless water and power outages, had gathered to voice their anger, but the peaceful rally quickly turned tense as forces attempted to disperse the crowd. Also, residents of Novin Shahr Sadra near Shiraz chanted anti-regime slogans in protest over ongoing power outages. What began as frustration over blackouts quickly turned political, with anger directed squarely at the Islamic Republic. Also, videos shared widely on social media revealed a worsening water crisis in Marv Dasht, located in Iran's Fars province. In response to the acute shortage of drinking water and the lack of access to water for essentially daily use, residents took to the streets in protest. The footage shows groups of citizens gathered in various parts of the city, voicing their outrage over the government's failure to address the water shortage. Protesters could be heard demanding immediate action and accountability from local and national authorities. Another video has surfaced from Khoshke Bijar, Gilan province, capturing angry residents flooding the streets. Furious over repeated and prolonged water and power outages, they can be heard chanting, "Water, power, life, these are our basic rights." The footage shows a growing wave of frustration as people demand accountability from local officials who have failed to address the crisis. Security forces cracked down on protesting shareholders at the Padide Shandi's General Assembly in Mashhad. After 12 years of waiting for transparency and justice, shareholders were met with tear gas, beatings and arrests. At least 2 protesters were detained and reports point to widespread violence. Many consider Sedarat Bank a major stakeholder responsible for the legal deadlock of years of silence. Dozens of border residents from Mirjaveh gathered in front of the Sistan and Baluchistan governor's office, protesting the closure of the Rutak border crossing. They say the sudden closure, without prior notice or alternative solutions, have devastated the livelihoods of many local families. Groups of angry citizens staged spontaneous protests at Ali Abad and Khazaneh metro stations in Tehran. The protests were triggered by repeated delays and mismanagement in metro train operations. Frustrated commuters responded by chanting slogans such as "Death to the dictator" and "Death to the Islamic Republic," transforming a routine public transport disruption into a clear act of political defiance. These outbursts reflect growing public dissatisfaction not only with everyday hardships but also with the broader political climate in Iran.